Okay folks, here we go, start of a new week, and I'm back on Pandanet again. So here we are, I'm going to be looking for a game. Those of you that pay attention to these things will notice I've dropped back from 6k to 7k plus again. I had a run of losing a few games, but I think I'm close to getting that back. Let's just take a quick look at the rank graph. So here I am. Yeah, still a bit short. I bumped over 6k here, as you can see, got back, but then had a series of losses, and so I'm on my way back. So we shall see how this game goes. So I'm going to go to the home page, look for an opponent. Normal settings, 1 minute for think time, and then 25 stones in 10 minutes, and maximum 3 stones stronger and 3 stones weaker. So here comes the game. And there it is. I'm just going to enlarge the board up to full size, add the coordinates, and say hi there. So in this game I'm black against a white opponent who's 6k plus and I'm 7k plus, so I just get the black stone, and we can see what Comey is later. So I'm going to play top left hand corner. The Comey is 5.5 points for this game. So I'm going to play 3-4 on the top right with a view to making the Chinese opening on the top side. And my opponent plays a 3-4 down there. So let's come in and see what happens. When you play the opening like this, when you play the Chinese opening, obviously what black has done is given up the right to make the first approach. And so white's going to develop that lower right corner, and I'm going to take the midpoint on the left side because this point actually works very well with the 3-4 on c16, and it makes it very difficult for white to come into this area, the area where my pointer is, because of the presence of the stone at j17 and the one at d10. So we'll see what white does. White might start to make something on the lower side, but then risk being a little bit over concentrated. We'll see what he does. So white does an approach to my 4-4 stone. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to step out and make a base, and so that's consistent with the strategy that I set out with in Chinese opening. Okay, so white has decided that he wants the corner, and I've got two choices here. I could split here and allow white to live in that corner and build a wall and then come back and attack this stone, or I can play here and let white live small on the side, and that's a choice that I've got to make. I'm going to this was part of the factor when I played this stone here, the stone on n16, because if I make a 2-stone wall like this, this stone's a little bit close to the wall and would prefer to be here, prefer to be on m16. I'm going to be consistent. I get a center, I think, out of this, so I'll go for the territory. And white's thinking about that, but white has committed. When you jump into the corner like that, you're really committed, because white can't really let me then fold around at r16 at this point here, because that would make his stone at r17 just a bit of a pointless stone. So he's got to come out, and I nudge at the gap, and he's going to have to fix. There's the fix, and so I get the approach move, and I'm going to approach this lower corner here. Here, 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 on the low side. Okay, he clearly wants to fight, and we'll go for a fight in this corner. I'm expecting him to hane on the inside to protect the territory at r3, but he may not. He may go for the cross cut. Yeah. No, he's not. Do we go out again? But I don't want him to hane here, so I'm going to protect that base side and keep my stones connected to stop him cutting. If I make a tiger mouth, he'll simply jump up an Atari here. So actually I've got to either play this one to do a double protect or play solidly. And I can play solidly because this cut doesn't work because there's a net. Right, okay, I'm going to do this. And this is going to give me one eye. Okay, so he's looking to fold round this, but I'm going to tolerate that in order to make a bigger point here. For me, it's a bigger point for me. So my invasion in the lower right here is a local success because I've got a presence. So I've got one eye here. He's going to try and build something on the right hand side here, and so really I could do with attacking in here. I also don't want him to cramp this group too much, but if I play a group, I think this is more urgent, that we just undermine this corner. Having spent a move to defend my corner at the top left, I'm happy to undermine his corner and take those points away from him, because then there we go, then he'll have two corners and I'll have two corners. Yeah, he's going to run along. And again, I'm playing this sequence because I get a sente out, so I now get I think this move to defend the left hand side. So white's big area of territory now here is on the right, and I would expect white to protect somewhere in here, because if not I'm going to drop a stone right in there. Okay, he's created now a weak stone, so I'm going to take its base away in the corner and enlarge my points in the corner. He comes out. Okay, I've got to be careful now because white's got a wall here, as you can see, and I don't want him to crush me up against that wall. So I'm going to make him heavy once by threatening to cut through. And what we mean by heavy is when stones have got are in a line like this, they're in a lump, they've got no shape. Whereas my black stones here have got some eye potential and some eye shape. White stones are heavy, and I'm trying to push white against my strength here. Okay, so he's having now a go at this group to try and take its eyes out. I could come here to block, and that means he'll back off, or he may come up. If he comes up, I block there. I think I'm just going to do a shape move here, but then can he connect underneath me? If I do this shape move, it means he cannot. Can he connect? No. So I'll make this move, and he comes out. Okay, that's to be expected. Now I've got two weak groups on the board. I'm strong at the top side, I've got a living corner here, but I've got this group I've got to look after, and I've got this group I'm going to look after. And I can't really effectively look after both of them at the same time. So I'm going to have to make some shape moves. So I'm going to first of all wedge at his cutting point, and the cutting point I'm aiming for at is E4 here, threatening to cut white here into two groups. I'm playing there first, but actually the point I really want is this point. I'm really after E, and he plays it. That's a very nice play. He ignored my my threat. Okay, we'll play here, and he said, yeah, cut there if you like, mate, but it won't do you any good. So now I've got 3 weak groups, which is crap for me, but I've got a chance of bringing them all together because now white stones on the lower edge here are also weak. So this is a bamboo joint. You can see here, these two here and 2 here, which is an unbreakable way of connecting your stones. So white here on the lower edge is now under attack, and I would be happy to give up this black group on the left hand side if I can wipe out the stones on the lower edge. Or while he wrestles to live, I simply connect all of my stones together on this side of the board. Because notice that this group here, this white group here, has yet to get eyes. If I connect here, okay, so we're going to play here, and he's going to play here making eyes. So I'm going to try and connect all of my stones together. So yeah, this is a Joseki sequence, but it doesn't work for, I don't believe this is going to work. No, we don't answer that, we simply play here. So I can live in that corner. And so now he's made eye shape in that way. So I'm going to make so he's living there, and can he break through? He could break through here. I'm going to play there. Let's try and connect all of my stones, and then I can start an attack. If I connect here, then yeah, he's going to have to do this. I think I keep him separated here. Oof, what does that mean? I get to kill all of these stones. Because if he cuts, if he connects, he's resigned. So thank you for the game. Thank you. Well, that was short and brutal, I'm afraid, guys. What the problem here is, you can see, is that if white connects here, black will just cut. So his reading wasn't very good, and if that happens, then this whole white group here is lost. So let's just run back through these moves and see if there's anything we can learn here. Opening moves normal. I've talked a little bit about the Chinese opening before. So white makes a base, black comes out. You know, for the new players here, notice how there are no contact plays. At this point in the game, nobody's bashing into each other's stones. We're both staking out territory. We're deploying our forces. We're looking for solid positions. I make a base here to protect that area. White takes the corner. I've got a choice now, and I have got a choice. I mean, the other alternative is for white to separate. Black to separate by playing R16, and then we get a different sequence where white would live in this area, but I would get an attack on this. But this attack isn't very valuable to me if I make this wall, because white's got good backup in this corner. So I resisted that and decided to bank the territory. I also got what we call a sente, and sente is simply the initiative. After this sequence, after my push here at Q15, white was really obliged to block me from pushing into there, And so white did that, but then I don't have to answer, which means I get this move we call a sente, which is an initiative move. White pins from the other side, I attached, white protected the territory, I came up, white came down, block. I can't do what we call a hane here, because white would counter hane and then capture these two. So I made a solid shape, white came out, then I made one eye. So I've got now one eye at p4 that white can't take off me. White approaches the top side, and then I simply made space in the corner. White comes out. I then take that side, that point off the side, take the corner point off white. That leads to a joseki. Normally this isn't great. It's okay for black, but you have to think that black has got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I've got 10 points, and white's got a lot of influence radiating across the board from the lower left corner up along the left side. The reason I was unafraid of that was actually because I've got such a strong position in the top left that actually that influence isn't very useful to white. In fact, white has to make that move, which is another, which gives me centre again. And I was eyeing this point here over on the left hand side to disrupt, but in the event I just came down to steady those, and then white came in. And now white stone is under attack. It's under attack from both sides, and we always have to be careful when we play stones like this that are immediately under attack, and we've then got to find some way of rescuing them. So white came out. I made white heavy by threatening to push. Notice if white doesn't connect, black wedges through, and then this white stone on c12 would just get eaten. Black comes out, white pushes at this group, but I got a simple answer, which is to block to stop these white stones connecting to these. White came here. I made a solid and steady connection. White comes out. Now this was the turning point in the game. At this point I wedged. I can't play this directly. I can't play e4 directly because white will simply envelop me, and actually involves a ladder, and there's the ladder breaker on that side. The ladder breaker is at p13 for that sequence. So white quite rightly jumps out. I made this one because I'm aiming to set up a little move called a snapback against these two here. So white blocks, then I cut. And I'm okay to cut here because notice that these two stones here have now got 1, 2, 3, 4 liberties, and white has only got 2. And these two stones have only got 2. And actually right now the snapback would work. I could have fired the snapback. Can I do a game review here? No, I can't from this position. Okay, so I can't do variance on this one. So, but I was much more interested, rather than a little living group here, is attacking white on the lower side. So then white protects against the snapback, which meant I get these two moves in a go, and now white's lower side is under threat. And so white plays this. I can ignore, I make a bamboo joint. And so now white is ending up with a little group, but I've got all of the center influence, and now all of the black stones here and through this one and here are all connected. So black has got one massive group here, black's got a big group here, and white's got a small weak group here, a small weak group here, and a small weak group here. And I've said many times to you guys, and I'll keep repeating endlessly, the highest level strategy of Go is to keep your own stones connected and cut your opponent into small pieces, because small groups have to live locally. They have to expend moves and stones in order to make two eyes locally, which is what white has to do here. So white plays here, I defend here, white plays here, I defend here. So now I'm alive locally in the corner. But this living group is vital because it's the group that actually supports the attack on the white group on the lower side and the white group on the left side. If this black group died, then all of white stones would all be connected in that corner. White plays another move there, and now white has got two eyes in that area, but I connect my wall here out to this corner, so I'm fully alive. And now white starts this sequence, and this was the fatal sequence. So Black pushes in, white defends that side, and then this pincer move is a very nice move. So white comes up, Atari, descend, Atari, and resign. So that was a game, a good quick game for me, particularly against somebody who's stone stronger. I think I played solidly, steadily. I understood at all times what was going on in that game and was aware of my options and the risks. So that was a good game to go. Okay, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. It was short and sweet, and I'll bring you another one later in the week. Okay, thanks for that, guys. Oh, and don't forget, please, if you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed hearing the Brit Go player, like this video, and please, if you want to see more like this, then subscribe. Okay, see you fellas. Bye for now.